I'm on the road again and ready for more grand days out around our beautiful country.
It's like we're driving through a little tunnel of happiness.
I've always been a massive fan of campervan holidays. And for the past few years, I've had a real beauty of my own, named after one of my heroes.
I'd like you to say hello to my wonderful campervan, Helen Mirren.
She's the perfect travelling companion.
You okay, Helen? Yeah, I'm all right.
For a great adventure. Round the length and breadth of Britain. To find beautiful places.
Oh, this is gorgeous.
And hidden corners.
I did it, and I'm really, really proud that I did.
It's a celebration of some amazing sights.
It's absolutely brilliant!
Both big.
Oh my goodness.
And small.
It's the most beautiful thing in the world.
So saddle up.
Yes!
Yeah. And join me. On my grand days out. This time I'm exploring the beautiful Wye Valley.
It is absolutely gorgeous.
Where tourism in Britain first began.
Canoeing straight down the middle of the River Wye.
And with its magical settings.
Just a little bit of.
Incredible wildlife.
Look how beautiful it is.
And age-old traditions.
Oh, you get quite fast, don't you?
It's not hard to see why.
The Wye Valley lets me have a shot at absolutely anything I want to.
A designated area of outstanding natural beauty, the Wye Valley spans across 3 counties: Gloucestershire, Herefordshire and Monmouthshire in Wales.
So Helen and I, on the road again in the Wye Valley. Never been here before. Absolutely stunning from the get-go. The sun is shining, the birds are singing, Helen is rocking and rolling around the road. Couldn't be any better.
It's the perfect start to a new adventure.
I think these country lanes are where Helen absolutely excels, because she's like nippy. She's in and out. Oh, there we are. And when you hit a bounce, whoo.
She loves a bounce, does Helen. Me, not so much. The first place I want to check out is Symonds Yat Rock. Set on a cliff top in the Forest of Dean, it's one of the area's most iconic viewpoints.
Oh my goodness, that is absolutely stunning.
The Wye Valley's beautiful landscapes and rivers have been attracting visitors to the region for centuries, leading to the area being dubbed the birthplace of British tourism.
There's nothing I love more than a viewpoint, I have to say. Being quite short, I like getting up high so I can see things, because it doesn't happen in everyday life. And from here, you can really see how gorgeous it is.
18th century tourists would travel by boat from Ross-on-Wye in the north to Chepstow in Wales, stopping at various beauty spots such as this on the way.
Let me see if I can see where we are. Okay, it's not too breezy today, thank goodness. So, we are at Symonds Yat Rock, which is here. And what I'm really wanting to do is to just explore this area. And what's really nice is it's quite self-contained. It's not a huge area that I'm going to be exploring, which is lovely because you get to know it a little bit better.
I'm kicking my journey off by the river, making my way back and forth across the water with a slight detour to Gloucester, heading down to Chepstow in Wales before looping my way back up to Monmouth.
Right, let's get poodling.
Following in the footsteps of bygone tourists, I'm taking a very windy, narrow road down to the water and Symonds Yat East.
I think it's always important to take a bit of time to wander around when you arrive somewhere. So this is the kind of sign I dream of. in this particular area, one has to be very concerned about ducks crossing. Now, I don't know whether it happens right here, whether it's a very measured and organised crossing, but watch out for the ducks. I don't think they're dangerous, you've just got to be careful of them. You know what I mean?
And just like my feathery, webbed-footed friends, I too am taking to the water aboard the aptly named Wye Pride.
Hiya!
My guide today is local legend Gerald Gardner. He and his family ran boats in these waters for 4 generations.
Gerald, it's lovely to meet you. A lot of the tourists came here specifically to follow this river. What is so special about this area and this particular river, do you think?
You know, it's just a beautiful river. And it's just so scenic and it's so tranquil.
The man believed to be largely responsible for making the Wye Valley popular was artist and author William Gilpin. In his publication Observation on the River Wye, Gilpin wrote, "If you have never navigated the Wye, you have seen nothing." The book was a hit and thought by many to be the first tour guide to be published in Britain.
William Gilpin, he explained to people in that book with some illustrations and drawings what he considered picturesque and what he considered was not picturesque and how to frame a picture. And after that, of course, all the artists, philosophers, painters, poets, they all came down because they couldn't do the grand tour in Europe because of the Napoleonic Wars.
Right, yes.
So it became popular then.
Such was Gilpin's rapture with the landscapes of the Wye Valley that the very concept of being picturesque, meaning visually pleasing like an artwork, was actually coined here.
What's this building on the left?
This is the old Ferry Inn. This is one of the oldest buildings in Symonds Yat. That dates back to the 15th century.
Wow.
Obviously getting its name from the old-fashioned hand ferry that's operated here. This is one of the original. This is one of the original ferry crossings.
Have you got a picture there? Now, what I love about this is how beautifully the women are dressed with their parasols.
This interests me. Seeing the parasols going over the rapids. It always makes me smile.
This is, honestly, the photograph's entitled Shooting the Rapids at Symonds Yat.
Oh, no,
There's not a life jacket in sight. There's just that beautiful, slightly Victorian thing of, well, my parasol will save me, won't it?
This is our local parish church. That's Whitchurch Parish Church at Symonds Yat, and that dates back to 1269.
My goodness.
Still in use to the present day, and we brought our daughter up. That's in the boat.
So your daughter got married?
Married in the church, and
oh, that's beautiful. So the river still flows right in the heart of the family?
Yes, that's right.
Literally right in the heart of the family?
Yeah, that's right.
That's a beautiful thing.
It was a great, great day.
It's a privilege to experience the river through Gerald's eyes and to see some of the very spots those 18th century tourists would have witnessed. And back on dry land, I'm pleased to see this gorgeous boat trip is just as popular today as it was all those years ago.
Hiya. Having an ice cream? It's a lovely ice cream. Well, the sun's out. I'm on my holidays. That's a flake disaster.
Coming up, shock horror as I take a spin without Helen.
It was so Alan Partridge.
But it's okay, as the force is with me. I'm having a grand day out exploring the beautiful Wye Valley in my trusty campervan, Helen.
So I'm driving through the Forest of Dean. It is absolutely gorgeous, quite magical, actually. And famously, this was the hunting ground in Tudor times, where noblemen and royalty and the like would come and hunt wild boar. And there actually are wild boar in the forest to this very day, which I love. Wild boar, of course, famously the cousins of the cam boar, We like to listen to classical music and discuss literature. Wild boar listen to punk rock and don't care what you think of them.
Wild boar is a delicacy in this area, so I'm heading to the market town of Coleford to see if I can find some.
Hi there! Listen, I saw a sign in your window for boar sausages.
Yeah.
And I heard tale that there were wild boar around here, is that right?
There are indeed, yes. They were reintroduced about 20-odd years ago, and they literally roam up and down all over the forest, so foraging around.
Wonderful. Do you have any sausages? Do you have boar sausages?
We do indeed, just in the fridge down there.
All right. Is there anything else you think, like a delicacy or a local kind of product I should take with me as well?
We have the single and double Gloucester.
Right.
And it's really famous for being used in Gloucestershire's cheese rolling competition.
Cheese rolling. So this is the cheese from cheese rolling.
This is the cheese from cheese rolling.
I'm going to take some of that as well, actually. Thank you very much indeed.
Armed with a big old chunk of double Gloucester and a bundle of sausages, Helen and I are on a mission to find out more about the unusual pastime of cheese rolling.
I'm slightly regretting the cheese purchase because I don't mean to be rude, but slightly wetty at the moment, which I suppose is the point of cheese, though, so I can't really complain.
We're on our way to a local landmark, the Scar Bandstand. It has a gentle slope on which to give the sport a go. A far cry from the near vertical incline cheese rolling is normally practised upon.
Don't worry, the cheese isn't for the wild boar.
Meeting me today is the ultimate cheese rolling guru and record-breaking 22 times champion, Chris Anderson.
Hi, Chris.
Hi, how you doing?
I'm good, thanks. How are you?
Yeah, good, thank you.
Do you mind if I put this down here?
Yeah, you carry on.
It's really nice to meet you because you are an expert in cheese rolling. So the cheese is released
Yep.
on a very steep hill
Yep.
and you have to chase the cheese.
Yeah. Cheese goes on 3 and then the runners go on 4.
That's my favourite thing I've ever heard. Cheese goes on 3, runners go on 4.
Yeah.
The tradition of cheese rolling is believed to date back over 600 years. Some say it was originally about claiming grazing rights, but nowadays it's classified as an extreme sport. The cheese can reach up to 70 miles an hour, so thankfully I'm just on my training slope today. And the prize? Why, the giant cheese, of course.
As a 22 times champion, what are the attributes that you need in order to be good at cheese rolling?
So quick on your feet. Being able to bounce well is good.
Bounce well.
Obviously have a good strategy of how you're going to roll and when you're going to roll if you can control it.
So, you don't just run, you roll?
Yeah, so because it's so steep, I try to put a roll or 2 in to slow myself
Slow
down.
yourself down.
Well, that's not the kind of cheese roll I was expecting today.
Cheese goes on 3, runners go on 4. Hi.
Hi, how you doing?
I'm ready.
Yep.
You said something that has been bothering me a little bit, Chris. Could you show me what you meant by a roll?
Yep. How's that?
I mean, it was great. Can you do a roll of your own improvisation, though? Does it need to be? Because that was very professional.
It's however you feel comfortable.
OK, so I would probably do that.
OK, maybe I'll give that one more go.
Right, I'll try and do it better, and I'll try and spring up this time, right? OK? OK, so I'm down, I'm round, and I'm back up, and I'm down the hill. Yeah?
That was quicker.
Better? Yeah. That was so Alan Partridge. I've rolled, I'm down, I'm back up again. Right.
Rolling technique mastered, almost. It's time to watch the master at work.
3 for the cheese, 4 to go. There is he's off. He's quick. I mean, he's going to get that. Oh, God. Oh, I thought he'd fallen. He hadn't. It's a roll. He's fast. See, it's quite intimidating.
It's a hard act to follow, but what I need to remind myself is I've been training for this for a whole 20 minutes. I'm ready to chase the cheese.
1 to be ready,
Yeah.
2 to be steady, 3 for the cheese, and 4 to be off.
I went a bit early. I make no excuses. Oh, you get quite fast, don't you? You get quite fast. That's the cheese. Got it.
I conquered like a nimble ninja mountain goat. But going forward, I might just stick to a traditional cheese board.
I don't feel like we should race against each other today. So I thought instead we should just share the prize together. Would that be okay?
It would be, but I don't really like cheese.
What do you do when you win it then?
Give it to me parents, friend, family.
Well, that means more cheese for me. After all, I do feel I've earned it. My next stop is just a short drive to a beautiful ancient woodland in the Forest of Dean. From the outside, it appears like a normal forest, but once within, it's like travelling to a whole different world.
This is Puzzlewood, and it is truly one of the most breathtaking places I have ever been.
It grew on old iron ore mines, and the area is covered in rock formations and caves that give the place an almost ethereal feel.
And it just reminds me really of, books I read as a kid, Hans Christian Andersen fairy tales. Around there could be a cottage with like a wicked witch in it or something. And I just love it because there's so many possibilities. There's so many possibilities for the imagination.
Particularly when you have one as overactive as mine.
Beautiful little pool of sunlight here. Oh, it's so gorgeous. Oh.
Natural beauty aside, Puzzlewood has now become famed for something else. The new Star Wars The Force Awakens was filmed here, and this unique woodland provides the perfect backdrop.
I'm of a generation, though, that's of a particular love for the original trilogy. Many hours, countless hours, spent in my garden in a dressing gown, pretending to be a Jedi Knight, saving a princess. Now, I'm not going to pass up the opportunity to be a Jedi Knight where there were Jedi Knights.
And you know what? It's amazing what you can find in the back of Helen.
Hang on a second, it's a bit slippy. So let me get to the bottom. Safety conscious Jedi.
I told you I had an overactive imagination. But these games were always better when I imagined myself an adversary. Why did I imagine him having the proper lightsaber? Maybe I should have been an Ewok. Help me, Obi-Wan Kenobi. You're my only hope.
No, I need you to save me, Princess Leia Helen Mirren. I've got my dressing gown on.
Coming up, I experience a touch of heaven.
It's the most beautiful thing in the world.
Then hit the ground running. I'm having a simply grand day exploring the incredible Wye Valley.
I always quite like it when I'm driving about the place and you feel like you're entering a new area, you know, and crossing over the river, as we're just about to do, into a new county. Feels like I'm an explorer, you know? Uncharted territory, even if it is charted because I've got a map. Still exciting though.
It doesn't take much to make me and Helen happy. We're on our way to Symonds Yat West. Separated by water from its easterly counterpart, the two villages also lie in separate counties, Herefordshire and Gloucestershire.
Come back down to the river again. Deep breaths. It's very calming, very soothing. And there's something happening there, which I think must be that ferry that I've heard about.
Believed to date back to the Roman times, these ancient crossing points were used to transport military, civilians, animals, and now tourists.
Hello! Can I hitch a ride?
Yes, of course.
Thank you. Oh, look at you.
Okay.
You've already got your hand for me.
Prepped
Thank
and
you.
ready.
Oh, thank you very much indeed.
No worries.
Thank you so much for taking me across. Can you explain to me just what you're doing just now?
Yeah, so what we do is we use the cable
Uh-huh.
and then we just slide the sling out, put a little bit of pressure downwards, and it gets the boat moving. So most of the work is done by the actual current of the water.
So it's quite a delicate operation.
Yeah, technique is much better than power. So once you're in and you've got it moving.
That's something to live by generally,
Yeah.
isn't it?
When the cables are within reach, then it's just a case of gently pulling yourself across the water.
If we go back again, can I have a shot?
Of course you can.
This place is amazing. The Wye Valley lets me have a shot at absolutely anything I want to.
There used to be 25 hand-pulled ferries along the River Wye, and even today 2 still remain in operation.
What I would like you to do, grab hold of that one and just pull down nice and gently.
Is that right?
Yep. Perfect.
Look at us together.
People think it's hard, isn't it?
This is truly one of the most romantic moments I've ever had. The sun's behind you. It's so beautiful, though. I think you should take over now.
I've got it. All right.
Yeah.
I dare say this was never a profession for those under 5 foot.
This has been just about the best ferry trip I've ever had.
I'm glad to hear it.
And we're off.
Back on shore, and such a beautiful setting has not just brought out the romantic in me, but also my inner artist.
Decided to spend a little time doing what, you know, the 18th century tourists did, a bit of painting down at the river, with what I believe you will agree is a picturesque view. I don't know why I'm speaking like this. It's because I'm about to start painting. I'm working with watercolours today. I always find when I'm painting, it's best to take a very broad approach to what I'm doing. Just get the colour on. Don't be frightened of the blank canvas. Is this worth £1 million? To some, no. To many, no. Is it worth £3? Perhaps.
But it's not about the money. Luckily, I'm an artiste. Today I'm going for the frantic, frenzied approach. I'm at one with the landscape. I am the water. I'm a tree, albeit on a very windy day.
I'm quite exhausted from the creative process. But I think you'll agree I've managed to create a masterpiece. It feels quite emotional.
They say beauty is in the eye of the beholder. Now that is picturesque.
She loves the hill, does our Helen. You can feel her straining. It's like me when I go up a hill.
My next stop is worth the exertion and guaranteed to bring joy to anyone who loves nature as much as me.
I've done lots of things in the Wye Valley that remind me of what the 18th century tourists did. But now I want to do something a bit more modern, up to date. But it's actually, for me, a trip down memory lane.
For my 8th birthday party, I got to go to a butterfly sanctuary, and I absolutely loved it. And today I get to relive that with butterfly expert Emma, and thankfully without the 80s fashion choices.
Hi, Emma. How are you?
I'm well, thank you. How are you doing?
I feel like a Disney princess.
I know, it's lovely in here, isn't it?
There's just butterflies everywhere. So, Emma, tell me, what is it that you do here?
So I'm essentially the zookeeper, so obviously look after the butterflies and that sort of thing, but it's growing the plants, making sure they've got plenty of food. So we've got nectar feeders around that we top up, banana feeders, which they love to feed on. They actually get a little bit drunk on the banana feeders as well,
my.
because it's fermenting fruit. So
it's like a pina colada for
It is,
butterflies.
yeah,
Oh, lovely. Butterflies are not only very, very beautiful, they're very important.
Well, they're a really good indicator of how an environment's doing. They're very important for pollinating plants and things like that as well, which obviously contribute to oxygen in the atmosphere and that sort of thing.
I've only recently got a garden, and one of the things I'm doing, as well as growing fruit and veg, is making sure I'm planting things that will help attract butterflies and bees to the garden.
When you're planting your garden up, you want to make sure that you're getting wild plants and wildflowers and things like that, because that's what really butterflies really love.
With over 24 different species, the Butterfly Zoo plays an incredibly important role in preserving these beautiful creatures.
What's that you've got
So
there?
I've got a bit of nectar in my hand here. So I was topping up the nectar feeders, but you can sort of use it to maybe get a butterfly to sit on your finger to lure them on if you'd like to have a go at that. We're just going to put a little bit onto your finger like that. OK. Hang on. Got to find one.
I mean, this could be the greatest day of my life.
Right. Are you ready?
Oh, my goodness.
There you go.
What type of butterfly is this?
This is a malachite butterfly, Cyparita stellinis.
Ooh. It's the most beautiful thing in the world.
Yeah.
Hello, my wee friend. And he's just having a wee taste. I think he's having a wee...
Yeah, so he can taste it on your finger using his feet, and they just uncurl their proboscis, which is the long
which is
tongue.
what's happening just now. Look how beautiful it is.
Yeah.
I'm like essentially a butterfly whisperer.
You are.
I love you. And then when he's had enough, he just goes.
Yeah, or you can give him a little blow and he'll just fly away.
You're a wee soul. Thank you so much, because it's been such a beautiful experience. And what else do you do for fun round the butterfly zoo?
Well, there's laser tag here as well. You up for playing a game?
Well, let me think. The closest I got to this as a kid was playing the video game Street Fighter, so yes, please. And it turns out when Emma's not saving the world one butterfly at a time, she's a stealth warrior, mastering in the art of laser tag. I'm joining her on the green team.
Watch it!
Our competitors today are Charlie and Ben. Don't let their innocent faces fool you. They're expert laser champions. It's a 10-minute battle, 3 hits and you're out. Game on.
Players ready? Break!
Our opponents may have youth on their side, but there's some things you just can't teach.
Stealth is the name of the game. I'm going, I'm going, I'm going, I'm going! Emma, we can't be together, Emma!
There's no safety in pairs today.
Emma, watch your six!
You got pinned in.
No! Who's hitting me? You absolute swines!
It's time, Calman. It's all on you. It's all or nothing.
Yeah!
Charlie, you're dead.
Both down.
Green team won.
Fight like a butterfly, sting like a bee. I'm taking a bit of a detour from the Wye Valley and I'm heading to Gloucester, where I've something very exciting in store.
So the weather has turned a little bit, but it's okay. Jumper on, raincoat on. I look like I'm on a school trip, ready for adventures.
Which is quite fitting, really, as some very famous pupils used to frequent the halls of Gloucester Cathedral.
I've got a bit of a tingle of excitement at the moment because I'm in these beautiful cloisters, which it was one of the filming locations for the Harry Potter movies.
I'm a massive Harry Potter fan. The movies have become a Christmas tradition in our house because it makes you feel all warm and cosy inside.
Sadly, I was too old to play one of the school children in Harry Potter, even though I'm probably shorter than most of them are. But it is absolutely incredible, not just because it was part of those movies, but if you look at it, it's the architecture, it's the detail. Even without the books, this place is pretty magical.
But Harry Potter is just one of the interesting stories behind Gloucester Cathedral.
Becca, it's lovely to meet you.
Hello.
Gorgeous place, the cathedral.
During the Protestant Reformation, Henry VIII was responsible for the destruction of many abbeys and religious buildings, but Gloucester Cathedral thankfully survived.
He picked one of the Gloucester churches, and he picked it because of this chap here. And this is Edward II, and Edward II is our only king here at Gloucester.
It's thought that because one of his predecessors is buried here, that Henry decided to save the then abbey and make it a cathedral.
And so did having something like this in the cathedral mean that it was popular with people? Were there pilgrimages, things like that happening?
I would say they're a mixture of pilgrims who come with a spiritual intent and visitors, just like us today, actually. There was still a draw of the famous, and this was a king. So we would date our tourism back to 1327.
That's before even the beautiful Wye Valley River tour, and it was those early tourists that helped fund another magical site within the cathedral.
Wow.
When it was built, it was the largest window in Europe. It's the size of a tennis court, and to put it in, they had to demolish the whole east wall of our abbey.
The Great East Window is a representation of heaven and earth, almost like a historical snapshot of how the world at that time should be in order of importance. Starting with the nobles at the bottom, going all the way up to the Holy Trinity at the top. And through its creation, an even more mystical phenomenon came to be.
When they demolished that wall and put that wonderful wall of glass in, they needed some way to get from this side to that side. And they built this little corridor.
Right.
But it's got a really quirky thing that means this is one of our top spots for tourists. If you stand at this end, and your friend stands at that end, and the person at this end whispers, then the person at the other end will hear you as clear as a bell.
So it's like a whisper, it's a whispering...
It is a whispering gallery, that's what we call it.
It's like a little secret passage or something.
The corridor stretches over 60 feet across the cathedral.
It's proper spooky. Okay, so this is the other end of the whispering gallery. It's quite a way, actually, so let's see if I can hear what Becca says. Can you hear me? Oh, hold on a sec, I'll whisper. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can. Clear as a bell.
This is horrific. Thanks so much, Becca.
You're welcome.
I'm quite terrified. It's as clean as day. Hi.
Hey.
I don't know how that works, and I don't know what's happening, because I'm not an architect or someone who's worked in these things. What I can say is it's probably just a little bit of magic.
Coming up, I lead myself on a merry dance.
What, my legs?
And get swept away by the beauty, but mostly the wind.
Hi, I'm going this way.
I'm on the final leg of my grand day out, where I'm taking the scenic route through the Wye Valley to get to Chepstow, crossing the Old Town Bridge, which marks the divide between England and Wales.
Okay, so this is the bridge taking me to Chepstow, and I think that the point where you leave England and enter Wales is like halfway across. So I'll let you know what's happening. I am in England. And now I'm in Wales. Hope no one got a fright. What a way to enter Wales. With a toot of a horn. I've always loved coming to Wales, so this is a right treat.
This is where 18th century tourist boat trips would come to an end. They'd take in sites like Chepstow Castle. But for me personally, there's something a little bit more modern that's caught my eye.
Okay, here's a fun fact. I've always wanted to waltz in a bandstand. I find it terribly romantic, terribly beautiful. But I've never found an empty bandstand to do it. And you might be thinking, but Susan, you've got no one to waltz with. But that is the joy of waltzing, in that you can do it on your own. So while there's no one else around, I'm going to do a bit of waltzing. I think the 18th century tourists would have been proud of me. Take the position. What, my legs? Never mind Strictly Come Dancing. I'm waltzing by the River Wye.
Partnered up with Helen again, we're quick-stepping our way back up the River Wye, but this time on the Welsh side, on my way to Monmouth. And all this talk of tourists has made me think of a band I love.
The Tourists, of course, were the original name for the Eurythmics. Annie Lennox, one of my favourite artists. Eurythmics were a lot of famous songs, including that one that you should never try and sing because you can't sing because you're not Annie Lennox, you know. Which, of course, I'm now going to try and sing. Apologies if you had any pets in the room.
Probably best left to Annie. But with all that singing and dancing, I've built up quite the appetite. Luckily for me, I've still got my wild boar sausages. Now all I need is a pretty spot for me and Helen to set up camp.
Beautiful river behind me. Bird song. The gentle smell of a wild boar sausage. I mean, that's... Now, listen. It's not cooking as quickly as I'd like, so we're just going to use an old-fashioned trick here. Oh, well, do you know what I've done? I've made a massive mistake. That's what I've done. Doesn't that look appetising? That's what we've done. Little bit of sausage is as good as a lot of sausage. So, usually at this point there'd be some form of really nice shot of the food I've just made. And, I mean, look, it's going to taste delicious. That is my wild boar bap by the River Wye. Beautifully cooked. Thanks for watching Susan and her sausages.
Well, the camera can only work with what I provide, and my dreams of a cooking show are out of the window. But it tastes lovely, honest. I'm heading to Monmouth and taking in more of the incredible sights, like Tintern, one of the abbeys that didn't survive Henry VIII.
Oh, it's dramatic though, isn't it?
So many incredible sights, both old and new. But I've still time for one final adventure.
So just do a couple of strokes to get it going. Yep. So it's a bit like a car, you need to get it going.
And I can't resist returning to the river itself, but this time in a very different boat.
Just head straight down the middle.
My guide and instructor today is Paul.
Turn in,
Yeah.
slowly.
Slowly. Slowly.
It's just driving a big truck, innit?
Yeah.
So the idea is to try and get a bit of power going,
Okay,
bit
got
of,
it.
bit of momentum, and then the steering happens easier.
Okay, I see what you mean. Yeah, got it. It's actually very soothing. It really is. Canoeing straight down the middle of the River Wye.
Now, it's been a while since I've been in the old canoe, but so far I think it's going well.
So once you get the hang of it, because it's slightly different from kayaking, it's okay. You've got to kind of, there's a bit gusty in the wind. Hi, I'm going this way. I don't know if you guys are going this way, but that's the wind.
Okay, maybe I spoke too soon.
Whoa! I wanted to see what was on that bank.
Just stay down this side, and I'll go the other side of you.
I've kayaked before in the sea, and I've canoed, but not like this on the river. And it's just a little bit more, you just have to be a little bit more careful of the gusts of wind that are coming and some of the other traffic. But it's actually really lovely. And you just have to go with it, that's the thing. You just have to go with it. Gust of wind, gust of wind, gust of wind, gust of wind, paddle, Calman, paddle. Paddle like your life depends on it.
Well done. Well recovered there.
Thank you.
High praise from Paul, and what an end to an incredible adventure.
I've been following the river for such a lot of time. It's absolutely fabulous to end up enjoying it from the river and retracing the steps of the tourists from hundreds of years ago, seeing the ancient and the modern. This is the absolute best way to finish my journey. There's the wind again! There's the wind again! Woo!
Next time, Helen and I travel across the epic Causeway coast of Northern Ireland.
Beautiful, yes!
Making new friends
You have an incredible bow tie.
and experiencing the very best of this wondrous country.
Oh, that was amazing!